Now that Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker has finally hit $1 billion at the box office worldwide speaking, a lot of fans around the world have been very curious about the future of the Star Wars franchise and exactly where things are going by Disney and Lucasfilm. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about Episode 9 is that we do know that this movie was a foundation to create new Star Wars lore and was only the beginning of developing their new Star Wars universe. In case you guys are just tuning in right now, the new Star Wars universe, also known as their new expanded universe, is said to kickstart sometime this March of 2020 with the novelization and other forms of canon material in the forms of books and novels. That's going to be the very base of this new EU, if you will, that takes place in different eras of the franchise. Now, on top of all of this, say what you will, but a lot of fans had issues with the sequel trilogy, and I myself included, especially with The Last Jedi and exactly how the character of Luke Skywalker was used by director Rian Johnson. And obviously Disney and Lucasfilm, they have realized the backlash, they have realized their mistakes, they've talked about these mistakes before in the past, and Disney CEO Bob Iger talked about this over at Star Wars Celebration, that they are now just realizing what they can really do with Star Wars. They are now just discovering about exactly what they can really do with the franchise for the Star Wars community, and this all came to their realization after the success of The Mandalorian. Now, on top of this, it's explained that both Disney and Lucasfilm are currently developing their brand new Star Wars universe, also known as their new Star Wars Expanded Universe, that will explore different eras of the franchise that fans have never seen before in the Star Wars franchise. One of the big plans by Disney is to focus on Disney Plus as their main priority to create a library's worth of Star Wars material that will be a part of this new universe. Now, one of the big plans that Disney and Lucasfilm have in store for the fans is to bring a return of actor Mark Hamill, and that they want to redeem Mark Hamill after the controversy over The Last Jedi and how little screen time he got in The Rise of Skywalker, and that they are looking to bring back Mark Hamill back to the Star Wars universe on Disney Plus for more than 2 projects. It's unclear if some of the projects will be animated, but Disney has a plan in order to bring back Mark as Luke Skywalker for The Mandalorian Season 2 that would give fans a glimpse of him as a Jedi Master in his younger years, in an era where Ben Solo was just a young child. And that also they are looking to give Mark Hamill some form of a role in their planned Young Luke Skywalker TV series for Disney Plus that is actually in the early talks by Disney and Lucasfilm. Now, Disney's plan to redeem Mark Hamill is said to be a plan that was made by CEO of Disney Bob Iger in order to give fans some excitement about the future of the franchise and where things are going for the future of Star Wars. Mark Hamill has expressed many times about his thoughts of The Last Jedi, and the fans agreed with him, and now Disney wants to make things right with the fans. So, the thing about everything related to Disney Plus here and how they're trying to really gain the trust of the Star Wars community, it really shows us that Disney is in a phase of desperation. I think that there's no doubt about that this really does spell the fact that Disney is desperate in order to get the fans back that are fed up with Star Wars, that had a lot of issues with The Last Jedi, and how it really had a major effect on the cancellation of over 10 years worth of Star Wars movies. I don't know if you guys remember this, but Disney and Lucasfilm had over 10 years worth of Star Wars movies planned and mapped out that were canceled and are now being transferred over into the form of TV shows. So, the thing that really gets me is how they're really trying to redeem Mark Hamill by having him have a cameo as a young Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian Season 2, and even in a young Luke Skywalker TV series that they are now in the early talks for. So, what do I think about all of this? Does this really fix the problems with The Last Jedi that did such a disservice to Luke and to actor Mark Hamill? I'm not quite sure about that just yet. I'm not quite sure if it will fix everything. A lot of fans have actually expressed that it's going to take a lot for them to really respect, Disney and Lucasfilm after what they did with The Last Jedi. But when we look at everything related to it in this sense, that they're really trying to fix things, they're really trying to learn from their mistakes, and they're really trying to do things for the better, I can see where they're coming from to an extent, but to me, I think that there really is no, there's really no way of saying this, but the fact that they really screwed things up with The Last Jedi, they really did. And there's really no way of escaping that because it exists. So, with Disney Plus, being the home of Star Wars content and new Star Wars material, I honestly am very excited to see exactly how this is all going to roll out later this year into also the later years of this decade of the 2020s on Disney Plus. It's going to be a very interesting decade of Star Wars material, everything related to TV shows and movies and other projects in the works, and how they're trying to really do something great for Mark here. I think it just shows that they really knew the truth about the backlash and the fact that the Star Wars fans that had issues with The Last Jedi really was not a minority. It really was a large chunk of the franchise as a whole, as the Star Wars community, I should say. So, anyways, guys, with that being said, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Thank you.